What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Bagged and Boarded with Pauly. Episode number 24 coming at you. Another great Wednesday, New Comic Wednesday. It is November 1st, 2017. 2017, quite a year in comic books. So much going on. So many crazy events. So much crazy characters, everything. And today, I got a very good assortment of comics I want to show off today. It's mainly back issues. I do have one new comic I wanted to show you guys. Got a couple of new Funko Pops I want to show off as well. So I'm not going to really waste any time. Just got a lot of good stuff to show off. So, lately I've been really patient. I've been sifting through a lot of dollar bins lately. Just because I'm trying to really get to the nitty gritty of what I want in my collection. And a lot of you probably know by now that I'm a huge collector in number ones of anything Marvel related. I just like to, get to the core of a character, kind of like get introduced to them, kind of just understand the basics of who they are, what they do, and their purpose in the Marvel Comics community. And today was no different. I found a lot of number ones, and I found a lot of, twos, threes, and fours that I was able to pick up as well. That's just a huge comic book tip I have for you. If you're ever sifting through random dollar bins, if you can find a number one and maybe number one through four, you need to pick those up because, in my opinion, if you want to get into comic books and learn more about characters that you don't know of, you absolutely need to start at the beginning. It may not be volume one, it could be maybe volume two. It may not be their first appearance as number one. Most of them will not be if you're finding them in a dollar bin, but it is still cool to find a number one, an origin book of any kind. You get to learn a little bit more about them, or you get to start at the beginning of a story, and that's always cool because you never know with some of these Marvel films where the creators are going to draw inspiration. You see that, the current Marvel Cinematic Universe is kind of going out of order right now. They started at the top with, everybody fighting against, Loki and whatnot, and then you have the Age of Ultron next, and then after that they had Civil War, and now they're going back to the Infinity Gauntlet. So everything's out of order, and you never know how they're going to do it. So it's always good to be educated on what you're watching, and it's always cool. It's cool to see what you've read come and translate into the big screen. At least it is for me, and it makes it easier and more enjoyable to watch when you understand what's going on, to its fullest. So, that's my Pauly pro tip for the day. If you can ever find a number one of any kind, I always recommend you get it. I got a lot of those today. And, I'm not going to waste any more time. I'm going to start right here on the left. And as you can see, I got the X-Men number one, a Mutant Milestone, first issue, A Legend Reborn. Again, this is a really cool book. It's a number one. I have several different variants of this book. One of them was Cyclops and Wolverine. I think there's a couple other ones as well. I think with Colossus. But, I decided to pick this one up. I knew I didn't have this. I'm a huge fan of Beast. I've been trying to get the Beast Funko Pop for a while now. Storm is also a pop that I really want. And then, speaking of Archangel, who's on the cover of this book, I actually just added his Funko to the collection, as you can see right there. Very cool. But yeah. So there's that number one right there, X-Men. And then this one I thought was really cool, X-Men number one as well. I thought this one was really cool because it is a Toys R Us limited edition. Like I said, I'm a huge fan of number ones, but definitely when I can find anything that's limited edition or a special edition or anything like that. So decided to pick this up, could not pass it up. A lot of cool characters on the front, Cyclops, Storm, and Wolverine, some of the key characters on the cover of this book. And then moving on, I found issues number 1 through 4 of the Shadow Riders. I've never heard of Shadow Riders before, but I thought it was really cool. I thought it was very different. I definitely wanted to pick this up because they had numbers 1 through 4. I saw Cable on the front, who I'm a big fan of. Number 2, you can see, has Ghost Rider on the front. I thought that was also very cool. So now I have numbers 1 through 4, and now I can read them at my leisure, and I can kind of learn a little bit more about them and, see whether or not I like them and I want to continue, moving on. They were all $1, so definitely can't pass up a deal like that. So the next thing I wanted to talk about was my big collection that I'm starting now, which is the Punisher 2099. The 2099 series, I think I'll have to make a whole new separate video on at some point after I at least complete one set. This is not nearly complete. The Punisher 2099 Volume 1 first run had 34 issues to it, and I have about 19 of those 34, and basically things that Punisher, the 2099s, there was Spider-Man, Hulk, X-Men, Punisher, and Doom. Basically, it's, I believe, another alternate future that takes place in 2099 that could possibly happen. And obviously the characters I just listed have their own storyline. At least that's the way I've come to understand it. And fun fact that this Punisher is not actually Frank Castle, it is Jack Gallows. And Jack Gallows actually suffers pretty much the same type of thing that Frank Castle went through. His family was gunned down, and now he's out to be the new Punisher and seek revenge. And as you can see, a lot of great covers here. Again, I found all of these in my local comic book store in the dollar bin. A lot of them were free because I spend a certain amount every week. They're all super cool. This is a Funko that I would definitely love to see made, Punisher 2099. They already made a Spider-Man 2099, and speak of the devil, he's making an appearance right there. So it's definitely really cool, and I definitely highly recommend you guys check out Punisher 2099. Like I said, they are, not exactly hard to come by. All the 2099s are. I found Ravage 2099 constantly. I found X-Men 2099 constantly. Doom. Ones that I have trouble are Ghost Rider 2099, and I've never seen a single a single Hulk 2099. So I don't know the rarity of that one, but it just may be, difficult. But like I said, I think I'm going to make a whole new video on the 2099 series after I complete an entire set, and then I can kind of show off all the ones that I have and talk about them a little bit more in detail. But just showing off the ones that I have at the moment, I have about 19 of the 34 issues there. And then this week, one of the new comics I got, another lenticular cover, as you can see, is Guardians of the Galaxy number 146. And it is lenticular with the Infinity Gauntlet number 1. Just got done talking about that. This is easily my favorite lenticular cover to date. I love Infinity Gauntlet. It is one of my favorite Marvel stories. It's going to be the one that the new movie is coming out. It's going to be based on. And yeah, it's just super dope. And highly recommend this cover if you are reading the Guardians of the Galaxy currently. So it's about as good a look as I can give. It's a little hard since it's bagged and boarded. And then a couple other issues I got. U.S. Agent number 1 of his 4 limited series. And I have numbers 1 and 3. And U.S. Agent is a huge favorite of mine. I definitely want to read more things with him in it. He's a really cool character. One that kind of eludes me, because I definitely want to learn more about him. And today I found numbers 1 and 3. Was not going to pass those up. No doubt is a very cool cover for both. And yeah, going to have to, get into that a little bit more. So, U.S. Agent, I picked up. And a little homage to Moon Knight, I picked up issues number 1 through 4. Not really sure what year or when this run came. It's called Vengeance of the Moon Knight, but I have issues number 1 through 4 here. And the reason why I got these 4 is because of the most recent Funko I just added to my collection, and that would be the Moon Knight. Now, this is the most current version of Moon Knight that is currently in the Marvel comic universe. I would have liked to see him in his other outfit that you just saw in the comic book, but this is still cool. Like I said, I love Marvel characters, and I thought this one was really cool. This is the Stanley LA Comic-Con exclusive, right above U.S. Agent. We were just talking about him, so definitely couldn't pass up on Moon Knight. So, moving on. You know what? We're going to take a break. I'm going to show you the rest of the Funko Pops that I've just recently got while I'm over here, so I don't have to keep walking over here. Just a quick little overview of some of the newbies that I've added. Big Time Spider-Man, another Walgreens exclusive I just added. Don't really know too much about Big Time Spider-Man. I thought this was a cool pop, and now I'm going to investigate Big Time a little bit more. So, big time Spider-Man. And I also picked up the San Diego Comic-Con exclusive 2016 Green Goblin Funko Pop that glows in the dark with his glider. You can kind of see the glider in there. He's kind of standing on it. But, yep, there's the Green Goblin. And I think that those are the only 3 that I have to update. But, you know, just going to give a quick little pan over all of my Funkos at the moment, including some of the ones I have over there. And then you can see the 6 that I have back there. And then all my Star Wars ones also here. Lockjaw being a good boy. So, back over to the comics. So, there was Moon Knight, and then I also had a couple more Punishers. The Evolutionary War Supersized Annual. The Punisher. Like I said, Punisher, ever since I watched Daredevil on Netflix, I've been a huge fan of Punisher, and I can't wait for his Netflix show to come out. And I've just been into Punisher big time lately, so Punisher #1, Evolutionary War, Supersized Annual. And then I also picked up the Punisher Warzone #1. Like I said, another #1. If I want to choose to try and collect the Warzone, I'll be able to now because I have #1. And if I enjoy it, I'll keep going with it. And I'm pretty sure that is indeed Frank Castle, but I'm not entirely sure. I don't want to give you my word. Another #1 was Quasar #1. The Cosmic Avenger. This is another really cool origin issue. Like I've been telling you, if you want to learn the origin of a character, if you don't know, there's no shame in starting at the top, especially when they're available. I know they're a little bit harder to find, but you just got to be patient with your dollar bin finds and whatnot. So you just got to give it a chance. So there's Quasar #1, and then this one was very interesting. This big, it's a graphic novel. It's a big graphic novel. And it is Nick Fury and Wolverine the Scorpio connection. I know nothing about this, but it was in the dollar bin, so I got it for $1, and it is just a big story with Wolverine and Nick Fury. And I'm not passing that up because this seems like a really cool book. I'm going to guess this is probably a one-off, so I'll be able to read it quickly. And just, enjoy it, because Nick Fury is a character that Marvel needs to make a Funko out of, but, I digress. But yeah, Wolverine, Nick Fury, the Scorpio connection. It's a really cool graphic novel that I picked up this week. And that's about it for this week's finds, except for one last Funko Pop that I found. And I want to wish everybody a happy Halloween, even though I'm a little bit late. But in celebration of Halloween, I got to add the PX Previews exclusive Halloween Comic Fest limited edition Emma Frost X-Men Funko. Emma Frost, this is what the normal Emma Frost Funko looks like, but I decided to wait, and my waiting paid off. I was able to get the Comic Fest exclusive, and I think this one is a lot cooler. And I finally got to add her to my collection. Thank you to my local comic book store friend, Kelsey, for helping me out with this. But yeah, a huge find and a huge addition to my comic book collection. And like I said, happy Halloween, everybody. I hope you guys had a great one and a safe one. But yeah, there she is, Emma Frost, Comic Fest exclusive. I love that sticker. I think that is absolutely dope. So yeah, we'll see how hard she is to find at some point. There were 10,000 of these made, so I don't think they're going to be that hard to find. But I think if you're going to find them at this point, you're going to have to get them online from someone. Doubt if you're going to be able to find them from a comic book store anymore. Alright, well that's going to wrap up this episode of Bagged and Boarded with Pauly. Thank you guys so much for watching. I appreciate it. I hope you guys had a great Halloween. Go watch some horror movies for me. I didn't get to, so maybe I'll throw in one at some point today or whatever. But don't forget to bag and board your comics. I really appreciate the support, guys. And go read a darn comic book today. And I will see you guys in the next episode.